Halloween.
Welcome to The Verdict. I'm Taylor.
I'm Elizabeth Pegram, or Lizzie.
And I'm Alex Montgomery.
This isn't the first or the last time that Disney has created a film based on an attraction. With a surprisingly dark plot, The Haunted Mansion is fun for the entire family. It has everything: murder, suicide, the flaming pits of Mordor. The Lion King director Rob Minkoff takes us through a twisted journey with zombies, gypsies, flying musical instruments, and of course, ghosts. Eddie Murphy leads a brilliant cast in a fun and wacky ride to escape a haunted house with a tragic curse. Here's the trailer for The Haunted Mansion.
You are cordially invited to the historic Gracie Manor, where there's room for the whole family.
Hello? Is anybody here? We're the Evers from Evers and Evers Real Estate.
Master Gracie wishes to discuss his affairs over dinner.
This house has a bit of history to it. And this history haunts these walls.
I don't think it's a good idea to put that information in the listing. People love bathrooms. We should play up the whole toilet angle. I think that'd be best.
From Walt Disney Pictures.
What happened here, Mr. Gracie?
Do you believe in ghosts?
No clue from the past.
She looks like Mom.
That's interesting.
No message from the future.
I am Madame Leota, seer of all.
Wow, that's great. What is that?
Can prepare you for an adventure
Find the key that must be found.
That was easy.
from the beyond.
Hey! I'd really rather stay on the ground. Can I stay on the ground, please? Oh! This is no time to panic. Don't panic!
When would be a good time to?
Now stop panicking!
Get ready
Hold on!
With what?
for the ride of your afterlife.
You'll kill us all!
Some of us are already dead!
Eddie Murphy,
Dark spirits from the grave come forth.
Don't you make no dark spirits come out while I'm sitting there. Wait till I leave before the dark spirits come out.
The Haunted Mansion.
So, did you guys find y'all's keys in the mausoleum?
Yeah, whatever that means.
I don't know what it means.
I mean, yeah, I think I watched it. I had to finish. Well, I've seen it before, but it's been a hot minute, so I rewatched it last night.
It literally was a minute for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I literally just watched it.
Oh, okay. So this should be just a breeze for you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think like the peak of Eddie Murphy's career, you know, for sure. I don't even think he was in anything else. Pretty sure.
I mean,
no.
yeah, like, that was around the time he started doing, like, terrible movies and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like there was Daddy Daycare. People were trying to say that the argument is that that was like the worst in his career. And then I follow up with, do y'all remember Daddy Daycare? I think that takes the cake, but that's just me.
Okay, so y'all are literally just trashing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty good movie to me. I mean, but, you know. But I find, like, one of my favorite parts in this movie with, he said, it's like spirits. He don't want no evil spirits or anything coming out while he here. Like, wait till he leave.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny. That, and then the talking heads, the singing heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Fun little fact, they were played by a little barbershop quartet that is home at Disney World. And
Oh,
they're
no
called
way.
the Dapper Dans. So a little
Interesting.
Easter egg for a little, now I've forgotten the movie. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh,
It's
no way.
the hair gel brand that he wants.
Don't even know that.
What?
You don't know the movie?
I don't. I
Hey,
really
well,
don't.
we're going to talk
one.
about Haunted Mansion, even though Oh Brother Where Art Thou deserves a shout out.
It's a good one. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like as a child, like this was my thing, no doubt. But I don't know. It just, there was some plot holes in it. And like, man, Disney.
It's a kid's movie. We're
Yeah.
not talking about Halloween.
Because I didn't
Town,
care
and you're
about
talking
that.
it.
Like,
I mean, when I was a child, no, didn't care about that. But first of all, Disney did not care during this because we start off the movie with suicide. 2 of them.
Right? Well, technically, one's a murder.
One's a
Spoiler
murder,
alert.
whoa.
For all
And
those who
also-
haven't seen it, it came out in 2003.
But the thing that I couldn't really get over, okay, so the guy is obsessed with Elizabeth, correct? Can't blame him. It's a good name. But and
my
like,
God.
so what's her name looks just like Elizabeth. That's the whole
Sarah.
plot. Okay, correct. But the whole time, I'm not Elizabeth. No. Okay, that's established. But I just never understood as to why they looked identical. Did I
I just
miss
think it's a
something?
coincidence.
It's literally just a coincidence, but I'm like, I would have wanted some
doppelgangers.
explanation. What, 2 people from like centuries apart don't look identical, but maybe, I don't know, who knows? But I just,
You know
that
that
didn't make
old
sense to me.
photo of that one guy from like the Civil War who looks just like Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, and there's one, and like,
So it's possible.
and Keanu Reeves was said to be a time traveler because there's so many people that look like him.
right, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, because then at the end when she like dies, you know, and then the soul of Elizabeth takes over her, and she's like, "It's me, my love," you know. And like he's like, "Oh, Elizabeth," and then like again the same exact person, and then she yeets out of her body, and then the other girl comes back to life. And I'm still confused. Why do they look exactly the same? That was not explained.
is it just me, or did the dude that played the butler, like, wasn't he great at making you hate him?
Oh, I love that
yeah,
guy.
he's my
I mean,
favorite.
He's
but I mean,
always a good bad guy.
Like and he was excellent with that. And I thought he was pretty cool being creepy.
Oh, I love that
Oh
guy.
yeah, that was my
man.
favorite part of the movie. First of all, I love anything creepy, spooky, ooky, and kooky. And this man and this movie is everything that involves itself with that. That's why it's so good.
Oh, he made the
especially that guy. That guy stole the show.
Yeah.
What was his name? It was like
I can't remember it, but I know, like,
Ramsley?
Ramsley.
Hey,
Ramsley.
that name is perfect for a creepy dude too.
He
Right?
really is. And his eyes are sunken in, like that Christopher Walken aspect of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just really old and shriveled. He's my favorite thing in the entire world. But nothing beats Jennifer Tilly. Jennifer Tilly played the little gypsy head. You know?
Oh,
She's
that was
so.
Tilly?
Yes, it's Jennifer Tilly. Jennifer Tilly is literally one of my favorite actresses of all time. She's so funny.
Yeah.
And especially in this movie.
Oh yeah, she was good.
I
And
just
he was
love
like,
her.
hold on. She's like, to what?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Okay, so sure, there's some plot holes, whatever. It's a kid's movie.
Yeah.
Right.
But they went
Okay.
all the way
was-
out with the effects. Like those
Okay.
zombies were real people. That was real prosthetic makeup. And they were really crawling around. That was so scary.
Oh, I was definitely impressed by the zombies, no doubt. And honestly, you know, like the flying instruments that attack Eddie Murphy when he's like, meh. Honestly, when I was a child, those kind of terrified me because, you know, in the Haunted Mask, the Goosebumps
Yes.
movie,
Oh my God.
those are like the flying masks. Always scared me so bad. And then, and honestly, I'm scared of flying instruments. And I rewatched it last night. Nothing's changed. Still creep me out. I can look at zombies all day, but those flying instruments, I was like, whoa.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've already talked about Jennifer Tilly, and we kind of talked about Eddie Murphy a little bit and how this is the peak of his career. Sure. But the best performance was actually from the guy who played one of the butlers, not the main one, but the other one, the silly one. Who was
The one
like,
with the woman?
Yeah.
That
I
actor's
love
name
him.
is Wallace Shawn. That's
Yes.
the actor's name. I don't know the actress's name. She's not in many other things, but Wallace Shawn
Yeah.
is so funny.
Yeah.
For anyone who's seen The Princess Bride.
Yes.
He's the best part of that movie. We can argue on that, whoever disagrees. But he's also the best in this movie. He
Yeah.
cracks me up. Especially my favorite line whenever he like looks at them and he's like, well, there's always my way. And he busts out that wall with a skeleton horse. Oh,
I love that.
love the Haunted Mansion so much.
I know. I like that guy a lot. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, you know who else is cool? Benny from Halloween Town.
Oh my God, that's what we're talking about with coincidence. Wow. So this next movie, Halloween Town. All right. So it was first released in 1998. And to give you any sense of time, I was roughly 2 months old. But this movie survived throughout my childhood as a Halloween classic. Okay, so the story follows Marnie and her family after her grandmother, aka the Debbie Reynolds, gotta love her, she comes for a visit. Marnie finally discovers she was born to be a witch like her mother and grandmother. The rest of this wacky film takes place in Halloween Town, where it's Halloween for all creatures all year round. Also, my dream. Am I right? Okay, well, take a look at this nostalgic trailer for me, will you?
No.
Come on, Mom. It's just one cookie.
Not before dinner, Sophie.
Marnie's right. You never let us do anything fun.
Oh, you can have a cookie after dinner.
I want that cookie. I really want that cookie. Are you eating a cookie?
Go sit down.
Good thing she doesn't like liver, eh, dear?
Mother.
Grandma!
In here.
Grandma!
Oh, so wonderful to see you and the children again. Oh, my, how you've grown. Oh,
Did you bring us presents?
oh, presents. What kind of a grandma do you think I'd be if I didn't bring you presents? They're right here in my suitcase. I don't know where that thing went to. Just a minute. Ah, there it is. Now, where did you get to, little darling? Come on, here it is.
How come you've been gone so long, Grandma?
Well, you know, one thing and another. But the important thing is that I'm here now.
Did you guys feel like you were also born to be a witch, or maybe just some other form of that word?
I mean,
Me.
I mean,
She means warlock.
What were you thinking? Get it out of the gutter.
I mean, you just snort? Oh my God.
No, sure didn't. Not on live television, no. Not me.
Okay, just to remind you, we're talking about Disney movies.
Okay, that's right. I lost track. Okay.
Hey, that movie did make it look like, you know, to be a witch was fun though. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, I've always thought that when I was a kid. Like, I mean, the next movie that we're talking about, Hocus Pocus, also made me really want. I mean, like last week when we talked about The Witch, I also like, you know, okay, that's something else. I'm getting off topic. But yeah.
Yeah,
I
The
mean,
Witch definitely makes me want to be a witch, you know? Have my family want to kill me.
Well, you know.
Get attacked by ghosts.
Tomato, sounds fine to me.
A naked seance dance in the woods. I'm always down for that.
That's a regular Tuesday night, baby. Okay. But Halloween Town, yeah, that's where I'm heading. Lovely. Absolutely fabulous. All right, we got Debbie Reynolds, for God's sake. Okay. I mean, also her prime. I think she used to like tap dance back in the day, but what's all that?
She did?
She was on. Yeah, I did a whole biography on her, and but she was in.
And all you can tell us is that she tap danced?
Yeah, pretty much. Some years ago. Halloween Town, yeah. So we follow Marnie, and then she's like, I have all these like cool powers. I just don't know why, you know. And I'm always obsessed with witches. And then like her grandma, which wasn't suspicious at all, when she starts pulling out like brooms and big things from her bag, she's like, I just have a big bag.
Okay, I don't remember in this movie if it's like that, but I know in sequels, the bag walks on its own.
Yeah, it does in this though.
Okay, yeah, this moves, but if you watch Halloween Town High, which I think is the third one,
It is,
it's
that's
got
a
its
good
own
one.
legs
Yeah.
and a tail. It's like a lizard, but like a purse. Which,
Like
I gotta say, Halloween Town is the most overrated Halloween Disney Channel original movie.
Overrated?
Overrated.
Well, Twitches got them beat.
Underrated? I thought I heard you
Because
wrong.
Twitches and Twitches 2
got them
are
beat.
both
Most
better.
definitely.
Okay.
Sorry.
I agree
But
100%.
also, if you watch Can of Worms, which is very weird, I don't know why Disney Channel decided to make that, but their very first Disney Channel original movie was called Under Wraps, which is about a mummy who came back and stuff. That was amazing. Nobody talks about it. It's fine.
I don't even recall seeing that one.
Yeah, well, obscure Disney Channel references is this guy right here. Then there was also Don't Look Under the Bed about the boogeyman.
I did like that one.
That one was
Okay.
horrifying as a child, and I loved it because of it. And we cannot talk about it without even mentioning Phantom of the Megaplex.
Was I even watching Disney Channel? Because half the stuff you just
I had no life as a child. All I did was watch movies, especially Disney Channel.
What was
originals.
I doing?
Are you watching Halloween Town?
You were watching. I was watching Halloween Town.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, everybody talks about Halloween Town, and nobody's talking about these other great ones.
Because nobody's seen them.
Well, they should.
Because this one has lasted the test of time.
Because of the 4 sequels.
Yeah, and Debbie,
it's
we don't
forward.
talk about the 4th sequel to Halloween Town. We don't discuss
Yeah,
that.
I see you,
When
Sarah
Marnie-
Paxton, replacing, who was it?
Marnie.
Yeah.
Literally the main character, they're like, nobody's gonna notice if we just, I don't know,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
a whole new person.
Because my senior year of high school, I looked so different than me now. You know?
Yeah, honestly, glow
That
up.
makes so
Whatever.
much. But to give it credit though, Return to Halloween Town, I think is what it's called.
I think so.
It's the best one.
The one without Marnie?
Okay, Marnie's in it. Kimberly J. Brown is not in it, but Marnie the character
Marnie
is there.
is in it, but yeah, not the.
Okay, it's the best one because if you look at it, first of all, they got a budget finally.
Well, yeah, because there were some like cool graphics, I guess. But like, but Halloween Town, they got all like, I love when they actually finally go to Halloween Town, and it's just all these like little creatures walking about, just living everyday lives, you know, and just trying to hide from the scrutiny of the real world, you know.
Oh, it's kind of like an allegory on racism if you think about it.
Yeah, there's something to be learned here.
I'm just kidding. I don't think that's what they were going for, but it does kind of reminisce of like
But like, and then is it
open
Benny?
borders. You know what I'm saying? Especially the third one, Halloween Town High, because they're like closing the gate forever between the monster world and the human world.
Something to be said about that.
Ooh, maybe they were ahead of their time.
Whoa. Now I liked the little skeleton driver dude. What's his? It was
Benny.
like Benny. Is that right?
Yeah.
I liked him, but then he
Oh, I
gets all
forgot all
mean.
about him.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
yeah, because that was the curse.
yeah. Oh, that's
I
right.
think it was a curse.
Or he was just a jerk.
Hold on, wasn't it a part? I hope I'm talking about the same movie. Like, it was like a ghost, a fat ghost, in like a little sauna type thing. I about to say masseuse.
Yes, it's
Sauna.
the same one because okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, I've been watching
Because
the
to
right movie.
like.
Like he
His
gets
thing
skinny or
is
something
to
too, right?
like get some magic, Marnie. Oh yeah, because Calabar was in the theater trapping all these folks, and he had trapped Marnie's mother and Marnie's grandma, aka Debbie Reynolds. We're gonna drop the name again. And she had to save them, and the only way to do that was to get like vampire's fang, werewolf's fur,
Sweat of a
and
ghost.
the sweat of a ghost. So yes, there was a ghost in the
Oh
sauna.
yeah, because he
they had
gets
to get-
he get like skinny real quick.
he gets
too.
real
does.
skinny.
If
and then
that
he
was like real life, dude, I promise you, like,
I'm crying.
get rid of this
promise
thing.
you.
Like,
Oh,
for
my
real. Like I would get rid of this thing.
Yeah. Throw me in a steamer, you know, and then I'll just vanish. Which doesn't sound bad either.
Oh my goodness. Which? I'm so bad. Anyway. Okay, Halloween Town also is the worst of the Halloween Towns. The first one is the worst.
I literally stopped at 2. Like,
Calabar's Revenge.
That one's a good one. When
That one's my favorite one.
That was
actually.
good. I kind of liked Halloween Town High. I just liked all
That
the new
one-
characters.
You know, that one might also be at the bottom tier for me.
Oh,
it might be
okay.
worse than
Yeah.
Halloween Town.
Just stop them over. Grind it in the dirt.
Look, okay, that one has like, first of all, Sophie is not even in it. I like at all.
Oh, yeah.
The more it goes on, the more obscure she becomes. She's like main character. She's like kind of there. She appears in a mirror, and then she's absent.
Remember the talking heads? Was that in the second one where the little like skulls were like, leaky ma?
Oh yeah, they were like they were the walkie-talkie things.
Exactly, yeah, something like that.
Oh, and side note before we move on, I might be the only person, but Cal from Halloween Town kind of looks like Joaquin Phoenix.
What a cutie.
Anyway, what a good segue to our next movie.
Is it? Really? Okay. Now for my personal favorite. After moving to Salem, Massachusetts, teenager Max Dennison explores an abandoned house with his sister Danny and their new friend Allison. After dismissing the story, Allison tells as superstitious, Max accidentally frees a coven of evil witches who used to live in the house. Now, with the help of a magical cat, the kids must steal the witch's book of spells to stop them from becoming immortal. Here's Hocus Pocus.
Jump back. Twist the bones and bend the back. Here to take up the American mystic.
Back in 1693, the people of Salem, Massachusetts
Witches? Yes?
thought they got rid of the Sanderson sisters for good.
We shall be back.
300 years later, it's Halloween Eve, and they're back.
We're home.
Are you boys a little old to be trick-or-treating?
Talking about 3 ancient hags versus the 20th century. How bad can it be?
Now they're digging up old friends and running amok, looking for the one thing they miss most.
You stay for supper.
I'm not hungry.
But we are.
Only one boy has the power to stop them
Prepare to die again!
You have no powers here, you fool!
before all Salem falls under their spell.
Hello, you.
Walt Disney Pictures presents Bette Midler,
Hello.
Sarah Jessica Parker,
Would thou dance with me?
and Kathy Najimy. Hocus Pocus.
Into the night.
They love to fly, and it shows.
Good night. Sleep tight. No screaming.
This is literally one of my favorite all-time movies, and Binks in the movie is the real OG.
Oh,
Straight up.
Oh, I love Binks.
Is Binks the cat?
Yes. And it was so cute.
Named
No,
after the store that sells
Yeah.
Crocs?
What?
Binks. That's I'm just kidding. I think Hocus Pocus came first.
No,
but-
is it Max? Is Max the main dude? I think so. I feel
Yeah,
like I
he's
remember
the
hearing his name.
merchant that gets it all started.
Max and Binks.
He tried to lie about it too, man.
Yeah, I know, poor guy. But he lit the candle.
Man, my childhood crush. Even like the bully with the blonde hair, I liked him too, even though he was a bully.
Yeah,
But I
he
was
could
like,
light my candle.
Maybe he's like nice.
I don't even know what that means, guys.
Like Mike Up.
No, I mean they were all
That was
cute.
kind
I
of a
had
Rent
all sorts of
reference.
crushes in this. Sarah Jessica Parker wasn't bad looking either. Hey,
She wasn't. She really
wasn't.
She was not.
You know, okay, for this Disney movie, it's so, because we're just talking about the looks of people, which is, you know,
I don't
it's
know what you
part
guys
of
are
it, sure,
reviewing.
but yeah, and Sarah Jessica Parker looked good in this because she didn't look like herself. That's the tea on that.
That
so
is-
Oh wow.
Hey, I didn't need that tea that hot.
Okay, but she did steal the show for me. Like she and oh my goodness, man, I have forgotten her name, but she's the other witch, not Bette Midler, but the other
Oh,
side
I
witch.
don't know her name either.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, but I promise that I love you and your work. You're so funny.
The one on the broom. I mean the vacuum
cleaner?
Yes, the vacuum cleaner. She's
Oh,
so
yeah.
funny,
She had
and she always
excellent
makes the
charisma.
face throughout the whole movie where she's like, oh. I love her. She's
Makes
so
that same noise.
good.
You wanna know my favorite part of this whole movie? I put a spell on you.
Oh my
man.
goodness, I love that song.
We just have a.
Don't sue us.
We got three
if
people
we don't
right
have
here.
the rights, that it's not my fault.
We
It's
don't
them,
own
all
the
right?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's like
Yeah, it's fine.
a general song.
Yeah, that's public
But
domain.
it's so good, and they have that book, which is just the coolest thing. But and then they think they kill the witches at some point when they burn them, but then they just turn into a gas and form back into themselves. I don't know. Doesn't make a lot of sense either. Who cares?
'tis firm. That was my favorite line.
Oh yeah, I
when
love
she
it
gets
when
thrown into the river, aka the road.
It's a river of black. And then like that's one of my favorite part. I think when they go into the real world and then they're like, she's like, I smelled children. I don't see them anywhere.
Did she start sniffing around?
Yeah, and then they go into
that
the
bus
guy's
driver
house.
though.
Huh?
That bus driver though.
They're trying to get down on the.
Hey, now. Yeah, because Sarah
let her
Jessica
drive?
Parker was sitting on it, or what's her name in the movie? I think it's Sarah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
She sits on
number 3?
she sits on the bus driver's lap and stuff like that when she gets up, and then he's just like, oh man, can I get your number or something? I was like, oh, this is what was this movie made? This is haven't I been in this scenario like this?
Let me get your snap.
Yeah,
I love it when they go in that guy's house though. The guy dressed up as the devil or whatever. Yeah.
Now, his wife wasn't having it though. Like.
I loved her. Take your Clark bars and get out of my house.
They thought, and they was like, what? They thought what they called him?
Master.
Yeah, master. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Thou
well
shall
that's
not talk to master in such a manner.
Because you sound just like her.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I was like, I'm not trying to brag.
As long as I get to be Bette Midler, I will be a-okay.
I love her so much. I love her so much.
That's the Buck-tooth lady?
Yes.
And she's the main one, the main witch.
Yeah. She's like, oh, take me to the window. I wish to say goodbye.
Yeah, witch number 1.
Goodbye. Goodbye. That's how dramatic I am.
Thank you for this marvelous attraction. I remember watching this whenever it would come on like Disney Channel. We gotta go back to it because this is where it all began.
It's OG.
But I remember when they would like play the commercials, they'd be like, Hocus Pocus will be next. And then they would always play that line of her saying, thank you for that marvelous introduction,
Oh, yeah. Oh.
That works too.
Thank you for that marvelous introduction.
And they would play it every time, and I was like, oh, Bette Midler, you get me.
Get me, bro.
I love you, and if you look at her tweets nowadays, they're very weird. She's a very old lady, and
I mean, she ain't getting younger.
No, she's not getting any younger. Her tweets remind me of Cher, where they just like kind of make no sense, but she's trying to say something, and
I think I get what she's coming at.
I love her.
But either way, I mean, I've seen this movie like, oh God, dozens upon dozens of times growing up because my sister loved this movie. She didn't care what time of the year it was. Like, can we watch Hocus Pocus? And I'm like, please no, I'd like to watch something else. She's like, no, Hocus Pocus. And then she puts in the DVD player and she's like, let's watch it 6 times. She was really like obsessive and compulsive about movies. I don't know why. That was her thing. But I've watched it so many times, but I rewatched it the other day just in case because I wanted to be fresh for this.
That was me with Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
As
same.
a kid, I would watch that one over and over again.
Oh, no, not
I was obsessed with that one as a kid, which is why it's the best one, because it's the only one to be obsessed with.
Debatable. I think Hocus Pocus. I think it takes the cake. Halloween Town, no doubt, one of my all-time favorites. But you can't really beat Hocus Pocus.
That sounds like a bunch of hocus pocus if you ask me.
You're speaking a bunch of Hocus Pocus right now.
I don't know what happened. I didn't really watch it that much as a kid, but I did watch it whenever the internet came around and everyone was like, oh my gosh, do y'all remember Hocus Pocus? That was the best movie. And I was like, no. And so I watched it, and yeah, I liked it because I was still young. But
I was finna say, never mind.
No, I've seen it as a kid, but like it was definitely I watched Haunted Mansion first thing, Halloween Town obviously because Disney Channel, but Hocus Pocus came later.
But wasn't it like
wasn't down.
Like last year was the 25th anniversary, I think. So shout out to that. I'm pretty sure because it came out in 93, I think.
93, yeah, 94 maybe.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah. Well, speaking of 93, Stephen King will be the topic of next week's episode.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with 93.
I was trying to understand that.
We're only talking about like the new movies. Like
Come on, segue.
Pet Sematary, the 2019 version.
They made a 2019 version of Pet Sematary?
Yeah, don't watch it.
And is it Cujo? Is there any special way to say that? Cujo.
It's Cujo,
Okay.
the dog. You've never seen it?
Nope.
I haven't.
Cujo and then It, both in 2017. So stay tuned for the next episode and
know how to pronounce
tune in
Cujo.
for one of those episodes.
And as always, let's go Peay.
Let's go Peay.